UFC Fight Night Vettori vs Dolidze 2 took place on March 15th at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. While there's no gate to report, the total revenue would have been boosted by sponsorships and merchandise sales, not to mention the UFC's broadcasting deal with ESPN, which pulls $300 million a year. But how big of a slice did the fighters take home? The Nevada State Athletic Commission no longer discloses fighter pay information, so while Venom sponsorship and fight bonuses are released, the purses are just projections based on disclosed earnings from previous events. And in the spirit of transparency, a new wrinkle I'm adding in: if you stick around until the end, I'll disclose how much the channel made from the last video on UFC 313. With that said, let's jump into the first fight.
Every fighter that's under contract, if you want to tell the media what you're paid, that's up to you.
Featherweights Seung-Woo Choi and Kevin Vallejos kicked off the main card. Choi attempted to use his 6-foot frame to land kicks at a distance, but Vallejos did a good job of staying just out of reach. By the midway point of the first round, he locked onto Choi's timing and landed a beautiful counter right hand that sat him down on the canvas. Vallejos immediately pounced, landing repeated blows on his opponent against the fence, until the referee called the fight, handing Kevin Vallejos the TKO victory. Choi, in his 11th fight with the promotion, earned $62,000 to show, along with $11,000 in Venom sponsorship, also known as Fight Week incentive, for a total of $73,000. While Vallejos, coming off the Contender Series, made the standard $10,000 to show and $10,000 for the win, as well as $4,000 in sponsorship for $24,000 on the night. However, I'd be surprised if the UFC didn't throw in a little extra for that finish. In the second fight, light heavyweights Brendson Ribeiro and Diyar Nurgozhay both displayed patience in the first round as they analyzed the other's timing. With about a minute left, Ribeiro landed a perfect 1-2 punch that dropped Nurgozhay, though he was able to recover and make it to the end of the round. After a takedown initiated by Nurgozhay, Ribeiro started threatening a Kimura from the bottom. Sensing the danger, Diyar rolled over to relieve the pressure, but Ribeiro rolled with him, continuing to crank his arm until Nurgozhay was forced to tap out. Nurgozhay, in his first fight off the Contender Series, should have earned $10,000 to show, but because he missed weight by 4.5 pounds, his already paltry purse was cut to just $7,500. He also made $4,000 in Venom sponsorship, for a total of $11,500. While Ribeiro made around $24,000 to show, along with another $24,000 for the win, 25% of Nurgozhay's purse, plus $4,500 in sponsorship pay, and took home $55,000. In the third fight, Cody Gibson put the pressure on Blackshear from the opening bell, throwing heavy punches and pushing Blackshear against the cage. He scored a takedown midway through the first round, but Blackshear was able to reverse the position by holding onto a guillotine choke. Damon looked much sharper to start the second round, but Gibson held his own and again was able to take the fight to the ground, but just like the first, Blackshear again reversed the position and this time locked in a Kimura for the submission victory. With the loss, Gibson earned around $42,000 to show and $6,000 in sponsorship pay for $48,000 on the night. While Blackshear made $43,000 to show and $43,000 for the win, along with $6,000 in Venom sponsorship, for a total of $92,000. In the fourth fight, Alexander Hernandez and Holobaugh came out aggressively to kick off their lightweight bout. It was a back-and-forth first round, and Holobaugh appeared to get a knockdown off a right hand, though it was more of a slip, while the round ended with a takedown by Hernandez. Holobaugh started the second on a hot streak, using his boxing to land damaging blows, but Hernandez scored a takedown midway through the round, halting his momentum. Alexander went for the takedown straight away in the final frame, and while he didn't do much damage, controlled for the majority of the round. The scorecards came down as a unanimous decision victory for Alexander Hernandez. Holobaugh, on the third fight of his contract, coming off his TUF 31 finals victory, made an estimated $28,000 to show, along with $6,000 in sponsorship pay, giving him a total of $34,000. And the winner, Alexander Hernandez, on his 15th fight with the promotion, would have taken in around $110,000 to show and $110,000 for the win, along with $11,000 in Venom sponsorship for a $231,000 paycheck. In the co-main event, Chidi and Njokuani spammed teep kicks up the middle until one caught his opponent Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos below the belt, momentarily stopping the action. When the fight resumed, dos Santos managed to slip inside one of the kicks and stunned Njokuani with a right hand and started to pick up on his timing towards the end of the round. Chidi continued to control the range in the second and scored a knockdown with a left knee right on the chin. He pounced on dos Santos, delivering nasty elbows until the fight was called, giving Chidi and Njokuani the TKO win. Dos Santos earned an estimated $98,000 to show, and an extra $17,200 from Njokuani's purse due to his weight miss, along with $16,000 in Venom sponsorship, for a total of $131,200. While Njokuani would have earned $43,000 to show, but due to his weight miss was fined 20% of his purse, and instead took home $34,400, along with $34,400 for the win, $6,000 in sponsorship, and a total of $74,800 on the night. Only 7% of the people watching this video are subscribers, so if you're enjoying the content and want to keep up with all the latest videos, take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And finally, the main event of the evening, Roman Dolidze came out throwing heavy hands as fellow middleweight Marvin Vettori mixed leg and body kicks into his strategy. In the early rounds, the fight played out similarly to their first meeting, with Vettori staying ahead on the strike count, but Dolidze landing the more powerful blows. In the third, Vettori appeared to wobble Dolidze with a left hand, but Roman fired back with damaging strikes of his own, and the fight continued into the championship rounds. Dolidze increased the output as the damage started to show on both fighters' faces. After 5 rounds of a very competitive fight, the scorecards read a unanimous decision win for Roman Dolidze. Vettori, on his 16th fight with the UFC, would have earned an estimated $135,000 to show, as well as a 25% bump in pay for the 5-round fight, for another $31,000. He also took in $16,000 in sponsorship, giving him an estimated total of $182,000. And for the winner Roman Dolidze, he'd take home $86,000 to show and $86,000 for the win, as well as his 5-round bonus, along with $11,000 in Venom sponsorship, and a total on the night of $226,000. And last but not least, last week's video got a total of 33.1 thousand views as of this posting, translating to just over $100. Any corrections to the numbers I've shown will be listed in a pinned comment below. That's all for this episode. As always, thanks for watching. See you next week for UFC Fight Night, Edwards vs. Brady.